Hey Merfolk fans, I'm Joe. Thanks very much for joining me. I'm waiting for an opponent to be paired up with me for the second round of this Modern Friendly League. I won the first round against Grixis Delver. It looks like we've got an opponent found for round two, so let's get it started. Okay, I lost the die roll. Let's make this chat a little skinnier. Very nice hand, easy keep. Affinity. So even though I have a nice hand, we're probably not going to be able to get there. Well, that makes things a little bit nicer. This is a turn 4 hand. But possibly, hold on, I'm not... Yeah, well, we'll just do our best. The lifelink might mess up the math a little bit, especially if he gets a cranial plating or something out. What a silly deck this is. I guess I need a Vapor Snag now or something. Maybe a Harbinger would be pretty sweet. Although cranial plating just gets trapped onto something else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy's coming in for 6 with lifelink. Not quite sure why this thing's attacking. 7 total. It's got, excuse me, double black for instant speed equipped too. So, gonna be hard to avoid the damage that this thing is representing. Opponent might not know that he has priority here, waiting for my AEther Vial trigger. Kind of obnoxious when get such a good hand and you just have to scoop to your literal worst matchup. So next turn we can put, let's see, this turn I think I'm going to do Silvergill and Cursecatcher. Next turn, Lord, I mean the lifelink is going to be out of control here, so I think I'm going to wait on Mutavault. I'm almost certainly going to use my mana next turn. So we'll go Silvergill and reveal a Lord. I'll drag this Lord over here so we remember that we revealed it. I feel like Moto's going to crash every time I try to drag a card. AEther Vial's probably not going to help us get there. All done. Opponent's got to stop on his own upkeep. A little bit strange. I think this might be the first time I've played Affinity on Magic Online. We do have 4 Hurkyl's recalls. Being on the play will help next round. Oh, this is ridiculous. That's champion, come on. The opponent can just move the cranial plating at this point. So we do want to use the ability. This is a sick hand. But the opponent's at 31 life. This is just dumb. So that's about as ridiculous as it gets. Affinity being on the play just gets out turn 1 Vault Scourge, turn 2 cranial plating swinging for 7 at us, and then even more the next turn. So all the Hurkyl's in, Kira in. We don't care about any of that stuff. We're going to take out all these Master of Waves because they're super duper slow, and keep in all the bounce spells. What is the extra spell that we take out? Kira's in as a blocker, first and foremost. She could have killed the Vault Scourge that game. I mean, it was turn 1, so probably not anyway. I think we can cut 1 Spreading Seas. We want to keep our creatures in. Yeah, I mean, Spreading Seas is decent because we can turn off their man lands. That reduces the artifact count. They can't sack those man lands to Ravager if that's their game plan, since they can't get turned into artifact creatures if they have Spreading Seas on them. So 3 is okay. We don't need 4. It's a little bit slow. All right, we got to hope that we can get there in this game on the play. Yep. Solid hand. I like that Mutavault. We will keep, and hopefully the opponent will mulligan to 3. All right. So he kept the hand. Wonderful. Go nuts, my friend. Sure. There's Akira. Plan is to establish a couple creatures on the board. Maybe take a couple of hits. We can go a little bit low. Well, there's cranial plating. So this isn't as fast as last game, so far at least, as far as it's looking. He's going to be swinging for 5 here. That's not the fastest clock in the world. I'm sorry, 6, because it's 5 plus 1. So go to 14. That's fine. I'm definitely not ready to use Hurkyl's Recall yet. When we use it, we want to be setting them back like a lot of turns, or as many turns as possible, and so far we would just be setting them back 2. It's pretty exciting that he played 2 artifact lands, though. He is gaining life, so that's a little bit annoying. I think we're going to max out our mana here and use Merrow Reejerey. The following turn, I can play a Lord, untap a land, I don't know, depending on what the opponent plays out. He's got 4 cards left in hand, so playing a Lord here gets around Whip Flare, which is nice. Okay, let's go to attacks. Ships passing in the night. We've got a damage in the air, damage on the ground or in the seas. Play another Darksteel Citadel. Well, there's an Inkmoth Nexus. It's interesting. Okay, see, we're going to set them back a bit more. It's going to give this guy +1/+1, but on my turn, I can tap. Oh, he's activating, so it's going to get even bigger. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 +1, so it's 8 + 1 is 9. We go all the way down to 5. He's going to go up to 30. Oh, double Hurkyls is pretty sweet. I think that pretty much closes it out here. So what is the play exactly? Unfortunately, we can't do Kira this turn, and we can't attack with Mutavault. I think the plan is, yeah, okay, this is pretty clear. We're going to play the Lord of Atlantis, use the trigger to tap Master of Ethereum, get in for 8. Unfortunately, we're going to be representing Hurkyls pretty strongly by not attacking with the Mutavault. Even though we have 2 Hurkyl's Recalls, if we were on the draw this game, I think we probably still would have lost. Just shows you exactly how ridiculous Affinity is. So the opponent doesn't need to activate the Inkmoth Nexus to get lethal with Vault Scourge, so let's see if he goes overboard. Well, he played his land already for the turn, so if he taps that, well, he can play an Opal, he can, we might be able to get this Glimmer Void blown up this turn. So since he's played a land already, he won't be able to play out one of these artifact lands or anything. This guy is not the most talented Affinity player. I think he probably is newer. Wow, wow. This is big value for us. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to blow up... Well, no. He can play the Mox Opal, so he'll have an artifact. We won't be able to blow up the Glimmer Void. But why would you play all this stuff? I'm at 5 life. Just going to use this now. There's no reason to delay any further. Well, whatever. Let's see what happens. Okay, now it's time to do this. Oh, did he like F6'd? That's amazing. Okay, so extra inexperience. The opponent could have played out his Opal, but now he's going to have to discard. He's going to lose his Glimmer Void. And he says, ops. Oops. Okay, so, oops is right. Now he has to discard 2 spells. Okay, so he scooped. So that was a strong game. Opponent has had 2 absolutely nutso, non-mulligan Vault Scourge turn 1 games with cranial plating. So hopefully, probability says that he's going to mulligan this game and just draw like a terribly slow opening hand. I still feel pretty good about this setup. Kira is slow. We have to kind of hope to get an AEther Vial and get into the later turns of the game. Master of Waves is no better, though, and an extra Spreading Seas is not really necessary. So I'm glad we're facing Affinity in an early round rather than a later round. Hopefully we can capitalize on the opponent's inexperience. Harbinger is good, but 5 lands is not good. I think the opponent kept 7. This is better, especially if we see a land on the top. Spreading Seas is not a land. We're on the draw. We already have a card draw effect in Silvergill Adept. So I hope we just don't lose to an Inkmoth Nexus. We're going to put this on the bottom of the library. And we've got plenty of time to finish up this match. Well, there's a Blink Moth. Okay, this is a little bit slower. There's that land. So we've got a Harbinger. Okay, there are those 2-man lands. Springleaf Drum, maybe Arcbound Ravager or something. Steel Overseer. That guy's super slow too. He's a great bounce target for Harbinger. Okay, another land. Not terrible. We're going to want to stop drawing lands right about now, though. Which Merfolk am I going to reveal here? These guys are both tricky. I'm probably going to cast this guy next turn, so I guess I can just reveal him. I'll move him over here. Let's yield to this. Okay, another land. So, not really great there. No cranial plating. No etch champions, please. Opponent played another land, so maybe he's just got a whole bunch of lands in his hand. Springleaf Drum, oh, that's excellent. We're doing great if we draw into a Hurkyl's Recall. Be very happy to see that. Opponent's gonna buff up this poison though, unfortunately. Yikes. This is looking pretty bad actually. A lot of poison damage. Really need to draw into that Hurkyl's Recall. Okay, so he's just getting in right now for for 2 poison. So it's his end step, it's time to bring in the Cursecatcher. Okay, well that's gas, and he's gonna be able to attack for, oh man, if Signal Pest attacks, these guys are gonna be coming in for 3 each. It means I have to win like in the next 2 turns. So we have to bounce the Steel Overseer right now, otherwise it's just too much, I think. These guys can get up to 3/3s, and they're going to get buffed by Signal Pest. So I can't play out both lords right now. Oh, although, well, I can play out one lord, wait for him to go to combat, and then bounce an Inkmoth Nexus. But then everything else is getting bigger. Honestly, we have very few outs here. We need to draw like another Harbinger. I'm going to cast Reejerey no matter what. So we can play the Wanderwine Hub, reveal Reejerey again, cast Reejerey. And then we go... I'm going to die next turn if these guys are 3/3s getting buffed up to 4/4s by the attacking Springleaf. Signal Pest. As it stands, he doesn't have that because he has to activate and then tap something to activate, and if he taps one of these, he can't do what I'm talking about. But he could very easily have another land or another creature, even like a Memnite or something. So we have to bounce something. Let's just go 2 attacks here. So we're only going to get one more turn. If I play out this Harbinger, right now, I think I'm going to do that. We die a terrible bloody death to Whip Flare if he has it. So we've got 4, 4, 3, and 3 next turn with this Lord. That's 8 plus 6 is 14. Another Lord off the top would do it. A Vapor Snag would do it. Hurkyl's Recall would probably get there. Oh man, I really hope the opponent takes the turn off attacking with the poison and just replays that Steel Overseer. Actually, my first concern is that he doesn't have... okay, well there's the Overseer. That hurts. That does hurt. What did he tap for that? Oh, Springleaf Drum. Well, at least it's not Whip Flare, right? At least it's not. Okay, 3 Infect here. It's time for a really, really good draw right now. Harbinger is potentially decent. We have mana for him or AEther Vial for him. So I did name Merfolk. I think I'm just going to use my Vial now, make it look like I maybe have nothing, and cast Harbinger with Flash. Now, we can take a hit even if Seal Overseer buffs these guys. We can take a hit from one of them. It'll be a 3/3 naturally, and then a 4/4. So let's go ahead and activate our AEther Vial. Say okay. Just waiting on the opponent here. I don't know exactly what is taking him so long. It's possible he drew a card that he might want to cast. So I was saying last game that I was like super telegraphing the Hurkyl's Recall by not attacking with the Mutavault. A savvy player would probably not attack with the Mutavault anyway, just to at least represent the threat, but he had lethal with just the Vault Scourge that game. He didn't need to play Cranial Plating, didn't need to play any more artifacts at all. I think I was at like 5, and the Vault Scourge was already like 6 or 7, so... As I was saying, I think the opponent is probably a newer Affinity player. So let's talk about the line that I mentioned earlier. If he activates... Well, he could activate 3 Ink Moths, actually. That makes it... Okay, let's see. What's happening here? Okay, so that one got activated. He cannot attack... Okay, let's see. I'm just going to wait to see what he does. Okay, so he tapped this one. Okay, so far things are going according to plan here. Okay. They're going to become 3/3s. Signal Pest, with Signal Pest they'll become 3 2s and then 4 with Steel Overseer. We can go to blocks. No blocks. Okay, so now it's time to use this guy. So he's uncounterable, even if he has Spell Snare in hand or something. Okay, we have to bounce one of the Ink Moths. Steel Overseer, that's fine. This guy's going to be a 4. Does he have something else? Can let that resolve. Say okay. We do want to use his ability. So we can't do anything else. Oh, the game has ended. So I won. Great. Oh man, so nerve-wracking. Really fortunate to draw into that Harbinger of the Tides, but that's why we play them in the deck. If any of you guys are running fewer than 4 Harbinger of the Tides, I recommend going up to the full playset because they're super useful in a lot of different matchups. So we got there against Affinity. Grixis Delver we won against in round 1, so currently 2-0. Please join me for the next video where I will play the 3rd round of this modern friendly league. Thanks guys, bye.